Hello everyone. So today we are going to continue working on this selection, multiple selection, and showing the selected actors here. So we already worked on part of it. So today what I'm gonna do is here this big actor uh, is the type of swordman, and these smaller guys are in the type of villagers. So this is a villager actor, and this is the swordman villager icon. You can see 3 villages, and this bigger one is the swordman icon. So that's what we are going to work on today. So I know it's simple, but here we are going to set up an interface where we can pull the pawn type from the actor and then use that to determine the what is the icon that we need to show in the widget. So for that we will have a data table based on the pawn type. We will have what texture to use and what would be the base health, display names, things like that would go in the data table. And also we will add a new enumeration that can be accessed from Blueprint and C++ that defines different pawn types, so villagers, swordmans, knights, things like that. Okay, so let's see how to do these things today. Before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of things that I have done in my channel from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can access anything without any limits. Also, here is the full playlist. Feel free to check it out. I have shown everything, all the steps that you need to do in order to have what you see in my project. So everything is shared. You can follow them and develop everything from scratch. And this is for using C++, but there is another series that I have used blueprints. So here also I have done some real-time strategy style mechanics. So feel free to check it out as well if you are interested in implementing a real-time strategy game using blueprints. Alright, so now let's get back to today's tutorial. Okay, so this is what we implemented yesterday. We can select characters and the icons appear here. If I deselect, they go away. So basically this is what we implemented. So now what I want to do is here we only have one type of character and we will always have this icon. So I want to have implement the base for having multiple characters. So we will have a enumeration that defines the character or pawn type, and there will be a data table that defines for each pawn type what the icon would be and what the base health would be. So basic data for each pawn type. And when I select a pawn here, the system will look up in that table and pull the icon from that table and show it here. So that's basically what I want to implement here. Okay, so to do that, first thing is I need an enumeration for character types. So if I go to my C++, I won't do it in C++ because we are doing everything in C++ here except for the UI parts, widgets. So this enumeration should be accessible from both C++ and Blueprint. So here in this common enums header file, I'll add another enumeration. Let's call it E4 type. Okay. And first one is then sword. So we can add many other different types here, but for now I just need to define the system. So this should be enough. And then in my baseBond, which is CLM baseBond header file, here I'll add another variable to define the pawn type. So to do that, I will have to include the header file of this. So header file is this common enum storage. I'll add it here. Then wait, as a private property. Oh, this is there. It's not where we need to do this. Let me close this. Then here, yeah, common enum. And then just like this, add default type. The default value I will say type. Yeah. Okay. Now the next thing is we need a way to get this pawn type in without having concrete reference to the class. That means we need an interface. So before this, let's just make sure that we can change the pawn type. Oh, for now, I'll make it edit anywhere instead of visible anywhere, so that we can edit the pawn type for each one of these instances, so that we can test our system. Okay, so the depose is gone when I play, so it's not a problem. Okay, now here, if I select pawn type, you see, pawn type is villager. Now for one of these, I'll set it to 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸. This is only for testing, and I'll make it a little bigger because other than that, I don't have another way to show this as a different character. The bigger one is 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸. Okay, but later on we will have different measures. Right now we don't. Okay, now how do we access this? For that, let's create an interface. Class interface. Next, call this base from interface. I'll let it to down utilities. Great. Okay. Load. Need the C++ file. Base from interface header file. So now here, this is where we need to add a function to get pawn type. So this is where we need to define that function. So if you need an example, we already have this navigable interface, and here you see this function blueprint callable blueprint native event. So we can add this type of function here, except this should this does not need any input. it should return 𝐸_type. Oh, sorry. This is okay. Now we need to implement this I-base bond interface in our base bond. So to do that, we also need to include I bond. Okay, now we can override a bond. Oh, did I rename it? No, didn't. Oh, we need to use the same name class implementation. All right. Okay. Let's define it here. We need to return from type. Okay. Should be good. Why is this still red? All good. Let's just hit compile and see. It's all good now. When we to go ahead to load. Okay, let's hit compile. Okay, successful. All good. All right. Now, if I go back to my HUD for a second and refresh selection, this is where I initialize the selected character list. So here, this is one of the selected actors. So here, let's see, get bond type. See, now we can get the bond type and it returns 𝐸_type. Okay, now using this from a data table, we need to get all the required data and initialize basically this icon. That's what I want to do next. Okay, but for that we need a data table. So in order to create a data table, we need to create the row structure. So that yesterday also we created a row structure. Maybe not yesterday, I don't remember, but yeah, let me show. Resource data. So this is how you create a row structure for a data table. So let's create one. Again, it's C++ this time. I'll select none. Should have got it. Top-down utilities. Great. Now this is going to create a class, but we need to make it a structure. Okay. Go here. Load. We don't need any of these. Here, resource data, it's defined like this. And before that, we need the copy that. And also we would need something like this. Instead of resource data, it should be phone data. Let me just copy the whole thing. And this should be F phone data. Remember some class from F table row base. Now this, instead of e resource type, e phone type, call it phone type, and I'll leave the display name and texture toward it. This I will make it a soft object pointer. Soft texture toward it. Because here we will have many different types of phones, and I'm not sure that it would be necessary for us to load all the icons up front, so that's why it would be good for memory. But let's see, maybe it's not that significant. And this phone data here. Again, this one. Info. This should be okay. Save everything. Here, compile, all good. Now we can go to data tables folder and create a new data table. Choose phone data as the row structure. dt data. All right. Now let's add villager. So I'm gonna make the row name also same as this phone type to make it easier for me to look up data for each character type. But if you update a phone name here in the code, it will not automatically update this, so you have to remember that. But right now I don't have a better way to properly link that. It's just you'll see. Okay, so for the villager, I'll choose this icon. And I have only other one. This is I selected as sword one. So sword don't have a suitable icon. Maybe let's just make the same thing a bit bigger. This so that it looks different in the 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐵 icon. Okay, now this is 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐵. Base has 100, but I don't really want to link health also today. Let's just get the basic icon connected. Okay, now we have data for wait. This is 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐵. This is villager. Choose this icon. Okay, now we can get the font type, and how should we do this? This is selected the icon. Okay, here I will the function. Let's call it initialize data. Let's add after input object reference. Select this. From the selected actor, we can get font type. Then we can get data with this to variable assign dt font data, and as the row name I can directly give this, but you'll see this will have the format 𝐸 types dot villager, something like that. But that's not how we added names. But let me show you. Yeah, let me just show this. Only. But yeah, before that, oh, that's because we didn't call this initialize data. So this, all we need is this called initialize data, and we need to pass the sector reference. Okay. Yeah, if I select, we should see 𝐸 type dot village, 𝐸 type dot or double colon 𝐒𝐮𝐩𝐸𝐵. So he actually being lazy here, maybe there should be a better way to do this. So to spring, then so here I'm just gonna replace this part with not. And then use that as the rounding. And then here we get the texture and this border. This is where the icon is assigned. I'll call it icon set brush from. This is a soft texture, but let me just put this and see if it works. Maybe we'll have to manually load it. Let's see. Here, this is correct, and here, we didn't get it. Actually, I did a print, and this is wrong. This should be string, enum to string. Should be fine. Let's see. Here, if I click, I should get 𝐒𝐻D, and see, the icon is correct. This is smaller one. So if I select all of them, one big one and 3 smaller ones. So yeah, now it's working as intended. Okay, so I think we can stop this episode right here. I feel like we covered a lot of things, even though it has taken only 25 minutes or so. So yeah, thanks for watching. We still need to implement, like when I select one of the actors, we should see if this is a villager, we should see options to build houses, other types of buildings, and if it is a fighter, then whatever he can do. And here we need a map, so we need to do all those things, and we will do them eventually one by one. So again, for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and here you will have updated project files. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.